Now that it is tax season, one of the talking points that we're hearing out of Donald Trump's administration, and people that follow and support Donald Trump is that this year there will be bigger refunds. You're going to get more back in the form of a tax refund than you would have in the previous handful of years. And that is true. Tax refunds are a slight bit larger. However, the cost of everything is wiping out that additional gain. Spiking gas prices tied to Iran war are set to eat up tax refunds touted by Trump. The U.S. economy was supposed to start the year with a bang, fueled by an unusually large jump in tax refunds from President Donald Trump's tax cut legislation. Yet spiking gas prices are on track to eat up those refunds, leaving most Americans with little extra to spend. Next spring is projected to be the largest tax refund season of all time, Trump said in a primetime speech in December that was intended to address voters' concerns about the economy and stubbornly high prices. But that was before the Iran war, which began February 28th. Oil and gas prices have soared since then, with the nationwide average gas price reaching $3.94 Sunday, up more than $1 from just a month earlier. Gas prices are likely to remain elevated for some time, even if the war ends soon, because shipping and production have been disrupted and it will take time to recover. Economists now expect slower growth this spring and for the year as a whole, as dollars that are spent on gas are less likely to be used for restaurant meals, new clothes, or entertainment. Lower and middle income households are likely to be hit particularly hard because they receive lower refunds while spending a greater portion of their earnings on gas. The energy shock is going to hit those who have the least cushion, said Alex Vasquez, chief of policy at the left-leaning Groundwork Collaborative and a former economist in the Biden White House, and it doesn't look like those tax refunds are going to be here to save them. Neil Mahoney, director of the Stanford Institute of Economic Policy Research, calculates that gas prices could peak in May at $4.36 a gallon, based on oil price forecast by Goldman Sachs, followed by slow declines for the rest of the year. The notion that gas prices decline much more slowly than they rise is so ingrained among economists that they refer to it as the rocket and feathers phenomenon. In that scenario, the average household would pay $740 more in gas this year, nearly equal to the $748 increase in refunds that the Tax Foundation has estimated the average household will receive. Through March 6th, refunds have risen by much less than that, according to IRS data. They have averaged $3,676, up $352 from $3,324 in 2025. Still, average refunds could rise as more complex returns are filed. Other estimates show similar impacts. Economists at Oxford Economics, a consulting firm, estimate that if gas prices average $3.70 a gallon all year, it will cost consumers about $70 billion, more than the $60 billion in increased tax refunds. So, yeah, you might be getting a little bit more this year in your tax refund than you did before, but you're spending all of it, plus some, on gas, on increased food prices, on increased prices to go out and eat, on increased prices to get on a plane and go on vacation. Doesn't matter if you make $500 more if you spend $600 above and beyond that. Once again, Donald Trump is horrendous for the U.S. economy.